He followed the small routes and crossed the border to Uganda. He made sure that he followed the route that was less traveled because he didn't have any documents on him, and it was this danger time. If you're found without proper documents, then you will be suspected for anything, maybe a rebel supporting one group or the other. And so he followed a small route that was in the bushes and crossed the border to Uganda. When he immediately crossed the border to Uganda, he found a church. There was a church that he saw a church, and he went and begged the pastor to help him, to let him spend a night there. So he spent the night at the pastor's place near the church. And when he reached the church, they started questioning him, his identity, and all that is to do with him, and he narrated his story. They asked his name, he told them. They asked where he came from, he told them. And they also asked about what he used to do before that unfortunate thing struck him. Just by luck, these people started telling him, by the way, there was a woman who was running away with 2 children. They just started narrating to him about this woman from nowhere. And they asked him about his wife and what his wife's name is. And he told them. Just there they told him, oh, this very woman has actually passed by here with 2 children, young ones. And they told him, the only way we can help you is that since we saw this woman passing, and since she could be your wife, we know she has gone into the camp. When he reached the camp, he searched around among the crowds, but he couldn't find his wife. And they told him, it seems your wife left for Kampala. When he came, he reached Kampala, and all he could do was to go to the police, trying to trace his wife. So they did his assessment at the police station. They discovered surely he's a refugee. He's been affected by the war in Congo. And so they gave him sort of papers that would help him reside around Kampala as a refugee. He went to UNHCR, and then he got registered. At the UNHCR, he met other fellow Congolese who told him they should also go to the Jesuit Refugee Council. And maybe they would also help you because you're a refugee, they serve refugees. When he went there, they helped him they gave him food for 2 days. He was given food, raw food that needed to be cooked before it's eaten, and he just sat at the veranda of the organization. He was desperate. He didn't know where to start cooking this food from, how he would prepare it. And some of the Congolese refugees identified him because they knew him back home, and they started telling him, oh, we've seen your wife, we've seen your wife. And his wife also got the news that he is around. And they met at the Jesuit Refugee Council. And the wife got him, they met at the offices of JRS, and the wife came with him here to Namuwongo. Because his condition was so bad from all the torture, he was advised to go to a place where torture victims are helped, just 1 mile away from Kampala city center in Kamocha. At that point, all his right side was paralyzed. He felt totally paralyzed. Even up to now, sometimes when it is so hot, it still affects him. He gets affected. He doesn't feel so good because of what he went through with the rebels. And whenever it gets so hot, up to now, he doesn't feel so good, and he has to take rest somewhere. Since then, he has been receiving treatment from the Center for Torture Victims in Kamocha. From time to time, he goes there to get treatment. Whenever he's not feeling well, he has to go back. He's been given a card so that he can just keep going whenever he doesn't feel well. Up to now, he is still a member of that Kamocha treatment center for the torture victims. When he came here, he found his wife doing petty jobs for survival, such as washing clothes for other people in order to get money to feed the children, and maybe cleaning people's houses, just doing any odd thing that could give her some money for survival together with the children. And he started asking himself, what is going to be my contribution as a man, since my wife is involved in doing these petty jobs? She started narrating to him, because since they came separate ways, she started narrating to him her version of what she went through in his absence while the rebels had taken him away from home. And she said when it came to time for running, she managed to only run with the two young girls. The two boys, remember there were 3, one was killed, there were 2 boys remaining, and the 2 boys ran another direction, and she hasn't seen them. And the wife started consoling him that you don't have to worry so much. Thank God we have met, and I know that God is going to take care of us, although we have lost our 2 sons up to date. And he started asking himself, as a man, what is the way forward? His wife is here with the 2 girls, although the 2 boys ran in another direction, they were not found. What is he going to do in order to help his wife? And he started remembering how he used to be a teacher back home. He started thinking about the 2 little girls that were with his wife, and he was asking himself from time to time, what is going to be the future of these my 2 remaining daughters? And by good luck, he came across Matt, who is one of us here at Uganda Hands for Hope, and they just met somehow. They just met along the road. And by the time he met Matt, he had started operating as a border cyclist, carrying people for money. I mean, not motorcycle, using his bicycle. The money, how he got the money was the little money that he would get by riding people on his bicycle is what he used to pay for the school fees of his daughter at Kisugu parents' school. And right there he started narrating to Matt his ordeal, what had befallen him and his current situation in Uganda as a Congolese refugee, how he needed help for his children, and Matt promised that the organization would find a sponsor for the children. At least now he has gained some hope, because his children, the remaining children, are in school, they have sponsors, and his heart is rested compared to the past, and he has begun forgetting about what he had gone through in the past. The pain is gradually going away, because now he sees that his children are going to have a bright future since they're already in school, and he no longer worries about their future. And for this reason, finally, I would like to thank the project, the organization Uganda Hands for Hope, for coming to his rescue, and he prays that may God bless. Not only that, he is thankful for the children studying, yes, and his wife is currently also part of our tailoring program here. It's been running for the last 1 month. They are into their 2nd month, and they are doing great work. They have learned how to sew clothes and different kinds of fabric, and at the end of 4 months of training, she will be able to become self-sustaining, and we just know that her future will become more bright. She's not going to do those odd jobs again, because by then she will have learned tailoring, she will have learned more skill, and she will have been established in her own business.
Ya mwisho ni kusema kuna watu, sio mimi peke yangu, kuna watu wengine wanahangaika juu inchi iko na watu mingi juu ya vita kila wakati.
It's been hard for the people who haven't got such an opportunity like him. There are lots of organizations, but out there, the organizations that are just they are there in name. They don't do so much as to get them out of such situations like Uganda Hands for Hope has done for them. He's grateful.